Great. Welcome, Jenny, to the podcast. So this is JENI SMITH, and you're a networking consultant. You're also founder of NetKnow. And if you're looking for networking events as well, you also have the website networkware.com. So tell us a bit more about yourself.
So yeah, my lifelong obsession has been networking. I kind of fell into networking by accident almost 20 years ago now in Liverpool. I was studying down there and doing some voluntary work at a company just to get something on my CV. And the owner of the business took me along to a networking event. No one told me what networking was. And I think like a lot of people, we just kind of get thrown in this room full of strangers and expected to know how to talk to people. And it scared the bejesus out of me. So I hid in the toilets most of the night. But eventually plugged up the courage to go and speak to someone. And I just totally fell in love with it. And a year after graduating, I invented a job where I used to go networking full time.
Yeah.
So I'd go to like 5 or 6 events every day, Monday to Friday, didn't pay for food or wine for like a year, which was great. But I'd go networking on behalf of a lot of different businesses. So quickly learned a lot about networking, building networks. And that's just followed my kind of career journey since then, really. I founded a network in Cumbria, so I used to host events. I was the managing director of the Muscle Club, which is a network over here in the Northeast. I was there for about 3 years. And then, 5 years ago, launched a business which has been set up to essentially just help people get more from networking. So that could be running workshops, teaching networking skills. I'm really passionate about networking strategy. So I help a lot of businesses improve their return on investment from networking activities by helping them put themselves in the right room to meet the right people, depending on what it is that they need from networks. A bit obsessed in a healthy obsession.
I think that makes sense. I think it's like finding the right events as well. And I know when I started to do like networking events, I was doing like presentation stuff before, but networking events just felt so different. I had that same sort of experience when I went to like my first one. I didn't really know what to do. Do I just go up to people? I wasn't really sure. I didn't feel like they were always in like a kind of huddle. How do you sort of break into that? That's felt quite difficult.
Social etiquette changes slightly in networking event environments. Yeah. So it's like the rules are a bit different. Yeah. You're allowed to go up to people and just be like, hi. In Sainsbury's, if you did that, it'd be a bit weird.
Yeah, it feels strange.
So it's a bit different. So it's a lot of trying to help people. There's a lot of vulnerability involved in networking. Our brains perceive networking event environments and those groups of people, we like perceive them as established tribes and we're the outsider that doesn't belong. So like trying to enter those tribes as the outsider as we perceive ourselves to be, we can potentially experience social rejection, which we're all programmed to fear because it's not nice. We've all got those memories of being that kid at school that the other kids didn't want to play with. And that's how we often see networking events. So there's a lot of emotions to unpick when it comes to networking, as well as obviously then the business strategy side of it as well. So it's often two-sided. Yeah,
because that's the thing. It's like just kind of like to just break into a group and say hello. That's what I found quite difficult. Luckily, there's always like seems to be somebody there who sort of like sees somebody just on their own, kind of like myself, and comes over and says, and kind of breaks that cycle. And then I spoke to them about it, and they seem to be like working the room quite well and stuff. I said, how did you manage this? He said, when I was just like you a few weeks ago, just coming to my first event, and I thought, and it just kind of, you just have to start with one and work from there. And I was like, well, if he's got to this position, I can do the same. And it did make me feel a bit more comfortable. So just having that person to sort of say hello first, maybe that sometimes works. But I've definitely tried to help others as well with the same advice, really.
I think if like sometimes it can feel like a networking event's like the Hunger Games and we're all out there like fighting for resources. But actually, if you can remember that everyone's there to meet each other and look out for each other and kind of take on a bit of ownership of the event and like look around as anyone visibly terrified, then just be nice to each other. That's a big one.
I think that makes sense. It's like looking out for those people who might be finding it a bit more difficult, like I did that first time. But they're very welcoming, inclusive environments. I think just because they're so different to other kinds of events. Yeah. But no, it's great to sort of have that kind of, it is fine. It is okay to go and say hello. And then once you do that the first time, it's a lot easier.
Absolutely. Yeah.